It is the 27th day of December 2024. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show on a Friday. Here we are. No saucy today because today's the day a new little Lambert comes into the world. I cannot wait to meet him or her. Initials day, no Parrish called in sick this morning, but we do have some very, very special guests. Chad Daniels is coming in, and he's bringing along his better half, Kelsey Cook, to play a little initials game. Marty Gellner will be here. Zach will be here, and Corey as well. So, we got lots to get to. And, of course, it is a football Friday. Vikings versus Packers Sunday, U.S. Bank Stadium, 3:15. Here we go. Let's get the show started. Here's Billy Guerin on how fast he'd quit his job if he won the lottery. Maybe it'll be you. Maybe it'll be me. It's the Power Trip Morning Show on a Friday. Come on in. I am glad you're here.
I play the lottery now. Anybody else play the lottery? Yeah. The lottery, the last act of a desperate American. You know what I really hate? The people that win the lottery. I hate them. They always go, what do you do to that money? Oh, I'm not going to quit my job. Not only would I quit my job, I'd be out of the office so fast. 3 or 4 people I work with would be out of a job because the suction would carry them out in the street with me. I'd be flying out of there like a rocket.
For a second there, I thought it was going to be just you and me, Chris. I thought it was almost over because Sauce is having a baby probably today.
He looked like he was pregnant.
Parrish was a late scratch because his whole family's sick. So he said he's feeling okay, but he's exhausted because everybody else in the house is sick. Zach was running late, but ended up getting here on time. I completely forgot it was Friday because of the weird week. So I'm like, oh, Creasel walked in. I'm like, oh, it is Friday. Creasel's here. For a second, I'm like, it's just going to be you and me until Marnie and Zach shows up.
Yeah, we're not going to do a good show.
No, that wouldn't have been good.
That's not going to happen.
Two-person radio was what they wanted about, 11 years ago?
I know.
They wanted it to be a two-person show, and you and I said...
that?
And you and I said, no, thanks.
No.
No. We're both big Howard Stern fans, and both of us said, no, we want a big room feel. We're not doing two-person sports talk radio. Some people do it well, but you and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I think we made the right call.
We needed Sauce.
Yeah, and he was a part of the show at the time, and they were like, it'll be you two pretty much. And we're like, no. No. You pay Sauce a scoop of meat sauce to work here. Yep.
Or a scoop of pea.
Or sometimes.
How do you get that plan?
Dude, you got a beg.
Yeah.
You got a beg. You'll get there, buddy.
Don't worry, buddy. Yeah.
So we learned yesterday, Christopher, I didn't know this. Kelly is getting induced today.
Today's the day.
But we learned yesterday it could be days before the baby's actually born.
Is that right?
I didn't know that.
It all depends on how ripe her cervix is.
We learned about
we are starting off with this again.
The ripening of the cervix. And apparently there's a balloon that helps ripen the cervix.
God dang. That sounds disgusting.
So we'll see.
That sounds terrible, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, wait till her cervix is ripened before you get in there, Sauce. Take a deep breath. What are you doing, mister? Can you wait till her cervix? And at what age does your cervix ripen?
I don't know.
My God, and how can I tell? Can I smell it? What is going on? How do you know the cervix is ripened? I need answers.
I don't think it normally goes very long. For us, my wife was induced on Friday at 3 p.m. and gave birth to Chloe at 12:09
okay, there you go.
p.m.
Right.
The next day, so a little afternoon. She didn't. It was like nothing. We just stayed there overnight.
Did she get the balloon?
No.
Oh, man, that's too bad. I wanted to learn more about the balloons.
The balloon. No, and then it was like 9 a.m. the next morning that she started feeling anything. And then all of a sudden quickly progressed and then shot Chloe out like a T-shirt gun.
Sure.
Yeah, right. That's the same thing. We went in because it was like a normal checkup for Abigail. Mm-hmm. And as she was on the table, the water broke. And it was the 8th month, not even the 8th month yet. We're like, oh, I guess we're going home with a baby today. Had no idea.
Game time.
Yeah, it just happened. So
no time
you
to
never
prepare.
know. You never know. But when they do the balloon, is it like like animal shapes and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's mostly a dog because that's the easiest one to do.
Get in there.
Make
or a
poodle.
sword.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it's like the airbags they use in the Jaws of Life. They just kind of, squeak it in there and then blow it up and everything just kind of ripens up.
How great would it be if the husband is the one who has to blow up the balloon? How much do I have to do with this?
Oh, God, I don't want to. I quit.
Blow up your own balloon.
Why is it always got to be me?
Is it like is the pump like they use for like basketballs?
Like a bike tire?
Just exactly.
Well,
the needle pump.
I bet Paul's good at blowing up balloons. He's got a lot of air.
That's true.
That's a big melon. They call him a sniper's dream. Yeah.
I'm just really worried about all the cervixes that were unripened that I was violating.
That's a good point.
I don't know. I had no idea.
Right, whether they're about to have a baby or not, just ladies walking around with unripened cervixes.
And do you wake up one day knowing your cervix is ripe? Finally.
It's like the bananas you buy that are not ripe yet.
Yeah.
You leave them on the counter.
Yeah, your
for a little
cervix is
bit.
green.
Let's make some banana bread out of that cervix.
Yeah.
Wait till it's yellow and spotted.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, your cervix is overripe.
It's ready.
But look, today is the day, right? Whether the baby's actually born today or not, the inducing is going to occur today. So we're within maybe 24 or 48 hours of Sauce being a dad. But I think today, since he is off, officially starts the Life is Show prep part of the next couple of years.
Oh, my God.
I just can't imagine what we're going to hear out of him for the next couple of years. Obviously, all the good. We're all excited about the baby boy that's on his way. But I can't wait to hear what Sauce is going to complain about for the next couple of years. It's going to be awesome.
It is a game changer for sure.
Yeah, and you have no idea. There's no way of knowing, right? You don't even.
Right.
People can tell you everything you want, but it doesn't. But I like the fact that and maybe I'm the only one in the room over there. I have no idea what the baby's name's going to be.
Same, I don't know.
Okay, you don't know either. Yeah,
I do.
Okay, good.
I do.
I like the excitement of that.
Good. Yeah, I like it. I like that
it's
knowing.
fun. It's fun not to know. But like, I heard him a week and a half ago say that he got a car seat quote installed.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, oh boy, we're in for a journey if it's installed. You mean you put a car seat in the back?
No,
Don't you run the belt through it?
You didn't grow up where he grew up, brother.
Chrissy, it's not that hard.
No, it's not.
I'm crippled.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with the
It's
thing.
not even remotely hard. You don't need it installed. You just do it yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
you can, but if you don't have to,
I
and
guess.
you grow up where he grew up, you have somebody do it for you.
You just basically, I think the toughest part, well, for me, is getting my weight on it whilst pulling on the thing to tighten it.
Sure.
And it's in the very first time, and I'd practiced ahead of time, obviously, but at the hospital, when we went, because it wasn't planned, I was at work, and then all of a sudden got a call. She went to get her normal blood pressure check, and they said, you're going to have you're not going to leave the hospital without a baby. So I left work, all that. Had the car seat at home, so I had to go back and get it. And then put it in before we left the hospital.
You had to install
I
it?
had to install it in the parking ramp downtown St. Paul. It was like a historic heat wave. So it was like 100 degrees. It looked like I took a shower with my clothes on when I went back in. But got it done. So, Paul, you're going to be fine. I will show you how to install it.
Yeah.
Because when you travel, you got to lug that thing.
You think he ain't going to have 2 or 3 of them? And I bet he has that one where you can take the carrier out of the car seat.
Right, that's the
best, man.
That's
That
the
is
best. But you still have to put the car seat in the vehicle.
I don't know if you guys know this, and I don't even know if he'd be okay with me telling this now, but remember in Vegas on their wedding when I saw Kelly naked?
Yes.
You know what I was doing. He paid me $53 to check her cervix to see if it was ripe. And it was so ripe. She ran in front of me. I was like, yep.
You're like, Paul, there's a farmer's market right here.
And if you remember, after you said it was ripe, that's why I canceled the balloons.
That's what you said.
That's right.
Yeah.
We didn't
It
need
was
them.
funny. It looked like Macy's Day Parade out there. You weren't sure how big they needed to be.
It's Woody Woodpecker.
It's the best, though. I've been a parent basically my whole adult life. I had stepkids in my first marriage, but I wasn't around for when they're a baby. I wasn't in the room when they were born. It is the most awesome. That's what I was telling them yesterday via text. And then it caused me to go through the videos from being at the hospital and all that and just reliving it. And then all of a sudden, boom, my daughter's old enough that we're playing Monopoly Junior yesterday. And it goes fast. So it's fun to look at just how crazy, because then all of a sudden they're like, I think I'm a responsible dude. But it is wild when they're like, all right, you take her home now.
There you go.
And you're like, all right, awesome. I've been excited for this moment. But then you're just like, wait a minute. What if I have questions? And you end up not. It works out fine. But
I know I do this all the time. But imagine, remember how dumb you were when you were 23?
Oh, yeah.
So we had just moved here. She was 7 months pregnant when we moved here with Alex. I didn't know anybody in the world. I literally didn't know a single person that lived in the state of Minnesota. And we had Alex, and they sent us home. And then Kim went, she was home for a couple of weeks, and then she went to work, back to work. And so it was me and Alex. And I was like, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't think the cat has a hard time. The cat has to. I let the cat go outside to find food. Right?
You're like, let's go for a wagon ride.
What am I going to do with the baby? I can't even remember most of it because I was so young. I'm 54 now. It's been obviously 30 years. Alex is 30 years old. I don't know how I have no idea how but again, I guess cave people didn't get instruction manuals.
Right.
Well, they found a way. Right?
How about just even 100 to 200 years ago? Think of how unlikely it was that every baby's going to survive.
Yeah.
You take it home and it's a freaking cold cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? How did any of us survive?
That's why they had 9 of them, right?
Even not that long ago, my grandparents on my dad's side, 13 kids.
Jeez.
And most of them were born at the house.
Yeah.
So it works out. I mean, the jury's still out on how they turned out.
Well, I tell you what, the jury wasn't out on how ripe that cervix was.
Oh my God.
Imagine those balloons. Oh man,
That's all my grandpa did was
were they
throw
made
the
of
boots.
wood?
Hey,
or-
listen, those balloons were hanging near the ground. All right,
His
we both know
pull-out
that.
game was not good. But yeah, it's the best. But it works out. You figure it out.
just
It's
does.
the best thing because it's the way that you're forced to learn patience and all of the good qualities. You sit there and it's the greatest thing, but it is nuts. Like when you relive it and you're talking to them about it, and I'm not like giving them advice, all that, because too many people do that.
Yeah,
but it's just like, enjoy it, savor it, record as much as you can, because you're going to forget most of the small details, even if you think you won't.
I've got to believe and Corey, obviously you've been through this too. I would imagine that in some ways being here by myself and not having grandparents around all the time was probably better sometimes, right? Like I mean, obviously I'm sure you were happy to have the help when you needed it, but like I'm sure after a while you were like, can I just let me just start my family now? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Let me do this on my own. I need to figure this out on my own. That's probably a little bit tough when you get somebody around all the time.
Yeah, we were lucky though. Both sets of parents never were like clompers.
Yeah,
But if you wanted help,
Exactly.
they would give it.
They were
see,
always
that's cool.
the bat signal away if you needed them, but neither group like clomped on us and was a buzzkill. They were helpful.
Yeah. That's how father-in-law was at a Winnipeg Blue Bombers game. And so we had to call the hotel and have the note slid under the door because the gal thought that I was like going to commit fraud. And it was like, by telling him his granddaughter is going to be born.
Right.
She's like, well, I can't do it. I can't patch you through. And it was like, I have his name. You don't have to give me room number. So finally, I got her to write a note and slide it under. And then he eventually called. He'd been tailgating up there at a Blue Bombers
No
game.
cell phone?
He has, at that time, a flip phone.
Oh,
but
my
he
God.
wouldn't use it very often, yeah.
And listen, far be it from me to beat something into the ground, but we know your dad, rest in peace, was checking services. So
He was
too busy checking for, just random ladies.
He was basically, he was like, he hears baby, and he's like, hold on a minute. Do I got to run the other way? Is it mine?
He was giving you advice, John. Here's what you do.
Yeah. He's like, son, I know you don't move as quick these days, so running the other direction might not work.
This is the one time I said to myself, I wish he still had his legs. This is the one time. You're going to need to run, John. No, Dad. I wanted this.
Can we get you a scooter?
Life is show prep, baby.
Yeah.
It is.
I can't wait to hear from him.
I believe they're going in during the show even this morning to start the process. So if they're listening now, best of luck to both of you.
Yes, love you guys.
Yeah, we love you.
Let us know if you need
Love
anything.
you.
Super proud of you. Super excited.
It's going to be great.
Can't wait for little Christopher Allen Lambert to be in this world.
And if you're tuning in for the first time or for the first time in a long time, according to one of the earlier scans, right, the kid has a normal shaped and sized head.
Yeah.
Because you once famously said that Meatsauce's head is his mother's Vietnam. It sounds like, according to the scans, that Kel is not going to have to deal with that. Mm-hmm. But you never know. Maybe it's grown in the last handful of weeks.
Right.
And her Vietnam is about to happen as well. We'll see. You never know.
Yeah, put the V in Vietnam.
Kelsey Cook and Chad Daniels later. That should be fun. They're going to play initials.
Marnesy will be here, right?
Yep. Marnie should be here about 7:20. Kelsey and Chad about 7:30 or so. No Parrish today. No Sauce today. Charge Challenge is done. No Mr. Z today. Apparently there's really nothing coming out in movies for a couple of weeks. I think that's it. Am I forgetting anybody else?
I saw the Dylan movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Did you see it yesterday?
Christmas Day, yeah. Was that yesterday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. Yep, saw that. I got a lot of notes.
All right, let's go through some of it when we get back.
Yeah.
Power Trip Morning Show back after this on the Fan.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back, Power Trip Morning Show. A song called Forgetting You by local artist Vess and Kevin Brown. Haven't heard this one yet. I was listening to it in breaks. Pretty good, man.
You call just to say happy birthday. Why?
December 27th. Here we are.
Crazy.
Vikings Friday as we get ready for the big one.
Is there a game this weekend?
Isn't
might
that
be a
weird?
game.
It's the weirdest feeling, though, that it doesn't feel like Vikings-Packer week because of the holiday.
Yes.
And everybody's schedule's a little bit off. But a massive tilt on Sunday at 3:25 right here on the Fan. The Vikings hosting the really, really good Packers. The favored Packers. The algorithm says the Packers are the better team, right?
They are missing something.
I know, but they are about 1-point favorites on DraftKings.
Catching points
Surprising.
at home.
Yep.
When you have 2 losses.
Yeah.
I think, some of the things I've been listening to is don't overthink it. I mean, the Vikings are the better team. Green Bay, the recency bias. Vikings haven't blown anybody out, which is okay. They get it done.
Chiefs haven't either.
Right.
I know they just won by 19, but they are not winning by a ton, and they're 15-1. Would you bet against them? I wouldn't.
Right. I feel like this, and it's the fatal flaw we all have, is, yeah, you can look at the past, maybe this season, though, and it can help give you an idea maybe how the future might go, but it's not a slam dunk. If it wasn't for the 2022 season, when it was just horseshoe so far up the ass that it was ripening the cervix, then I think people would nationally would be taking this team a lot more serious.
Yeah.
But that team was smoke and mirrors. I feel like we all knew it, though, during it. We were just like, enjoy the ride. This is not a team that can make a deep run. I feel different about this team. They could win the Super Bowl. They could get knocked out in the first round. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Either way, exactly. I'd be more surprised about the Super Bowl than getting knocked out in the first round because that clearly can happen. I still think the biggest advantage this team has is health.
Yes.
Right. Outside of Darisaw, we have everybody.
And we're getting the
Pace.
linebacker back. Pace is coming back.
And Harrison's
going to play, right?
Yep.
I think that made
a
big difference last week.
Oh, huge. Huge difference last week.
My concern's the middle of the field, but I've watched basically every Packers game. Jordan Love has moments where he's very good, but he's got some dumb to him. His decision-making at times where you're just like, what are you doing? And if it's a situation where we can stop the run and force them to pass, I think we absolutely win this game.
We'll see. Lots of Vikings discussion between now and the end of the show, but also, Chris, you said you have some notes. You've been off for a couple of days, your birthday, Christmas. What are your notes?
Happy
what do you
belated, by the way.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm 54 years old. Man.
Good run.
Holy moly, I can't believe it. Yeah, I know. This is, anytime now. It's okay. It's been a good run, right? I'm good. I'll start with movies. The Bob Dylan movie. Anybody else see it?
No.
Is Zacho still over there?
Yes.
Yeah. Any interest in seeing it, Zacho?
Eventually, yeah. I'm getting sucked into it the more promos I see, because I don't know much about Bob Dylan. I've always been fascinated by it.
Yeah. Chalamet is wonderful. He's great in everything, but he's so good in this film.
Good.
It's so crazy that somebody who is so well known now, his face is it's everywhere. From the time I saw him in Little Women till now. I mean, he's been in 100 different things, right? but you forget you're watching him. And I think that is really a mark of a really, really great actor. I know a lot about Bob Dylan's life just because I've read so many biographies and stuff like that. And so it's a movie. They take a lot of his life and mix things together to tell a story that is more of a through line. But I think it's a great movie, and Chalamet's great. And for me, I'm sitting there in the entire movie going, who in the sweet hell is that guy? Who is that guy? I know that face. Who is that guy? The guy who plays his tour manager, who's a big part of the movie, is Dan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dan
Fogler. The guy who sat over there and Star forgot his last name and Topher Grace yelled at him for it. It's him. And Dan.
Oh, no.
You don't even know his name, man?
No, I wrote it down.
I know.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Topher was pissed.
Yeah, he was not happy about it.
But that guy was good.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. He's been in a lot of movies, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a big role. I mean, he's a major part of this film. So
how was my guy Worm? How was Edward Norton?
Great. In fact, again, it's amazing when you see an actor you've seen that many times in that many different roles who completely lose the fact that you're watching Edward Norton.
Yeah.
You know, he's that great.
He's also consistently great.
He's just great. I know. So I loved it. I think the theater was completely packed. I sat in the front row.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I had to. I wanted to see the movie. It was completely packed and really, really great. So I would encourage you to see it.
Did you go to the St. Michael Theater? Which theater did you go to?
I went to the St. Michael Theater.
So
that's right. Yep.
I just recently kind of learned about that theater. That's that back row.
Yeah.
The elevated back row is the best.
It's the best
theater experience in the Twin Cities.
It's the best.
It's to the point where I've only done it once. It was for Moana 2, which the movie was just
Sure.
But I'm like, this is going to spoil me and ruin me for movies for the rest of time.
It's the best.
Think about like theater seating, right? Mm-hmm. But then the very last row is about 20 feet higher than the rest. It's like this elevated Lincoln suite, right? It's like
gotta watch your six.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's so cool to be all the way up there and be towards the top of the theater. It feels awesome.
It is, and the sound is great.
So you're basically at like eye level with the middle of the screen.
Yeah,
then?
exactly. You're way up there.
Do you pay extra to be there?
I don't remember. Angie booked the tickets.
No, you just have to be lucky enough to
get there
first.
early enough.
Yeah. In fact, I play a gig there tonight. We play one every year. I play a lot of gigs there because they have lay music room is in that movie theater.
Oh, cool.
So movie theater, I think it's 16 is the music room, and it's that same layout. And so that whole row up there at the top is where people can stand and kind of party and stuff, and then you can sit to watch the band, and the rest of it's pretty cool. So I love that theater, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
But since we got a couple more minutes, I do want to bring Zach into the conversation. Zach, I hate every person on that television show.
Wow.
I hate them. Have you watched Beast Games yet, Crease?
I have not.
My God, you need to watch it.
I know, I do.
I would watch it again to watch it with you.
Okay.
That's how much you will hate these people.
Tim started it.
What do you think?
He loves it.
Dude, you
and
can't
he says
stop.
I have to watch it.
So I did.
Oh, you did?
So because I hate everybody. And
everybody.
So I watched the entire first episode. I hated every inch of their strategy.
Oh my God.
None of them had.
So stupid.
They're all the people are dumb. But what I said this to Zach off the air. I cannot stand the editing. They don't stay on a shot for more than a half a second.
Yeah.
It is so chaotic and hectic, and it's shot like his YouTube videos, not like a regular game show.
Yeah.
I'm just begging, please stop moving the camera for 1 second.
So you can't stick with what's going on?
No, well, you can, but they don't give you anybody to cheer for.
There's nobody to cheer for.
And at least in the first episode, there really isn't a game. There's just psychological kind of situations and offers. And you get to quickly ask yourself, what would I do in this spot? But then it's MTV editing on cocaine for the next 15 minutes while they're making choices. You're like, I'm just seeing random faces. Some people are crying. Some people are screaming. Some people are taking the money. Some people aren't. I'm like, I don't even know if this is fun because this is just chaos.
And it's not giving you the chance to say, what would I do in that exact spot?
You do kind of get that. You definitely can sit there and go, would I take the money in this spot? How much money would I need to say yes to this?
Would I jump off the platform before the timer starts?
But these guys are correct. It is the level of stupidity, they don't understand basic probability. And when there's 1,000 people and only one of you is going to win $5 million, and they're offering you $100K to just quit, you take it.
You are going.
You take it.
Have you seen this week's episode?
No, I don't know if I can keep going because I'm so mad.
He won't be able to watch it.
I was so pissed after the first one. I'm like, these people are dumb.
You only have to.
You will develop an ulcer.
Oh.
You should watch the whole thing.
You will.
But watch like the first 2 minutes of this one.
Of the third one?
Oh my God!
I couldn't
can't
stand the first one.
I can't.
How many are
You'll
out
lose
now?
your mind.
Three, right? 3 are out.
In fact, I'm wondering, like,
episodes. You mean? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, do you mean people though, or episodes?
No, episodes.
Yeah. There's 3. A new one just came out, and the newest one is completely infuriating. And Zach,
Yeah.
I don't want to blow it, but the one guy who was one of the 4, and then in the
Hazen or-
next round,
yeah.
oh my God!
So, Creasel, let me give you a little glimpse of how
God.
dumb these people are. There's a challenge in the first one where if anybody in the row takes the money, everybody else in the row is eliminated and gets nothing. So you have to hope that a series of 7 or 8 or 9 strangers, none of them take the bribe.
Can you talk to each other?
Yeah, and they're all yelling at each other, going, "Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!" But eventually, of course, the game is let's keep upping the money until enough people take the bribe that we get down to the number we need to get down to. Well, a couple of times, somebody would hit the buzzer, take the money, whether it's $50K or $100K, and I'm sitting there at home going, "What are they doing? Take the money. This is free money."
Yeah.
If somebody else in your row takes it, you go home with 0. Just take it.
Yeah.
And a guy would hit the buzzer, the whole row would be eliminated, and one of them would go, "What are you doing?" And the guy would go, "I got a family, man. I got to worry about my family." And somebody would be crying, go, "We have families too." And I'd go, "Then that's why you should have hit the
Exactly.
button, you dumbass.
That's-
Your family could have had 50 or 100K if you were smarter. You
Right.
deserve to lose."
100%.
So far, again, I like Survivor.
Yes.
Because you get to find somebody you want to cheer for. Sometimes multiple people. Like,
Right.
all right, here's some strategy. I can kind of calmly watch this show. Here's like 4 or 5 people that I think would win. They always do a good job on Survivor of kind of crafting a couple of villains. You're like, I don't want that person to win.
For sure.
That person's got to go. So far, in one episode, there were 0 people I wanted to win, and I had no fun because I was so pissed at everybody's logic. One gal was like, "You took $50,000. That's so stupid." She's screaming.
God,
That's so, and I'm going, "Oh my God, please. Get her off." She's already eliminated, and I still want her off of my screen.
Yeah.
You're the dumb one.
You just wait.
Oh, I can't. I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to have a heart attack even thinking about
I told
it.
you. I think you'll develop an ulcer.
God,
I can't. But also,
so dumb.
and by the way, what you were talking about with the quick editing, you're watching TikTok.
It is absolutely.
That's all it is.
It is for this
edited
generation.
For this generation, that's number one. You're just watching TikTok.
And by the way, it's the same complaint our parents had about the MTV
I'm sure
generation,
you're
right?
right.
Because MTV edits were faster, right? And I remember parents going like, "Jesus, how can you guys watch this? This is that times 10."
Yeah.
You have no opportunity to just let it sit for a second. It is nonstop pans, zooms, like drone looking shots. It's all over the board and it never slows down.
So at some point, hopefully then, once they whittle it down to enough, small enough number, that they will develop some storylines.
You would think so.
Yeah.
You can tell like they're following a couple people.
Yep.
So it gives you the sense that those people are going to advance.
Well, yeah, because they got literally thousands of cameras. Like that's not even an exaggeration.
It broke
too
a world
many.
record.
It's unbelievable
Right. Yeah.
how much video that they must have.
Lend a few to the NFL after
And
this.
Chris,
so
you
we
said
can-
this before you left when you first were reviewing this.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Beast. I think most people have at least heard of Mr. Beast, right? He's basically the biggest thing on YouTube. He's a giant deal. He's making tons of money, whatever.
And it's his show.
And it's his show, yep. I don't know who his buddies are.
I hate him.
I hate all of his buddies
Every
as
one of
well.
them. I hate them all.
And I don't even know why. I know you said that, and I'm watching episode 1 going like, all right, what's the deal with his like 3 or 4 or 5 buddies that are just on the show with him? And same thing. Every time they open their mouths, I go, I don't even know this guy, and I already hate him.
Yeah.
I hated all of them.
I hate them
Don't
because
know why.
they're hangers on, suckling from the teat. But they're also obnoxious as if they've done anything.
Right.
To make them, to give them the right to be on this television show when all they've done is just suckle. That's all they've done. So I hate that.
Tough
I mean,
watch.
they were a part of his early videos back in the day. Like he again, keep in mind, like I don't know how many years ago it was, 6-7 years ago. he was nothing. Like he just worked his ass off on YouTube, created some stuff with his buddies, which is why he keeps them around. So, I mean, I get it. I guess if you've never seen any of it before, I get it, but like that's kind of their their bit.
I still hate him, but
yeah. Feel free.
I hear where you come from.
Not saying you shouldn't.
The other thing that I can't get past, and we can go to break in a minute, but I told you that one of the things I feel weird about it, if I look at it from a 1,000-foot view or whatever, you are watching Mr. Beast play God. I mean, this is a guy who is dangling a carrot in front of a bunch of animals and saying, let's watch just how bad you can be to each other.
And they're so desperate
and that's
that
why
they act stupid and clearly don't think.
They have no idea what they're doing. They act as if they are related by blood when they just met each other. They're making dumb decisions based on ridiculous reasoning. And you're watching them cry over people. It is the most absorbed thing I've ever seen. And there's a guy standing literally on top of a tower looking down at them, playing with them. It's pretty weird, man. But I can't stop watching.
I don't know if I can go back, dude. So even this is a minor spoiler, but who cares? Even in the first episode, they have a challenge where they have to stack a bunch of blocks.
Yeah, Jesus.
And then if you can't stack them, you're out. Or the first 100 that topple over also get eliminated.
Right.
And there were people that completed the stacking of the boxes and then turned their back on it, almost like, I'm done. And then they would fall over. It's like, you have one job, is to make sure this thing stays intact.
Dude.
But you're just walking around on this platform. You might rock it. You might shake it. What are you doing? Like, just that.
Corey.
And they were surprised. Like, what happened? Oh, I don't know. You should have kept your eye on it, you dumb F.
Corey, they said you have however much time, an hour, whatever. Mm-hmm. Wait till the last 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Everybody else's towers are falling.
None of them understand any strategy
They're
at all.
Stupid.
So it's the 1,000 dumbest people you've ever met in your life.
And then they cry because they can't believe their tower fell over. What? Wait till there's 10 minutes left, then start building the tower. Probably everybody else's tower is already going to fall.
Even the first challenge, right? We have $1 million. This is when they have 1,000 people. We have $1 million. You hit the buzzer right now, you can split it. But the more people that hit the buzzer, the smaller the number goes, right? Guess when you should hit the button on that challenge?
Right at the end.
At the very last second, so you know exactly how many people are going to hit the button with you. There were people hitting it early. What is the advantage of going out first? Unless you just know.
There's always that guy, though.
Unless you just know, it doesn't really matter when I hit it because I'm going to walk with $10,000 or $15,000 if 100 or whatever people take. Let's just do that and call it a day. Fine. It's infuriating. It is.
It is.
How long is this break?
Oh, man. Why, you want to show me the first 2 or 3 minutes of
episode? All you need is the first 2 minutes.
Dude, please do it.
Stupid show.
Beast mode is what it's called. No, Beast Games.
Beast Games, yeah. I wanted to go beast mode on those idiots in episode 1.
No. Den of Thieves in 74 days. Power Trip Morning Show. Local music on The Fan. We ruined Corey's Friday. Thanks, Zach. You ruined his Friday. You did. You ruined his Friday.
Look.
Mission accomplished.
How many people were in the Beast game still when that challenge just took place? The one that you just showed me? Like 400?
200?
200? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's 200. That's perfect. Perfect number.
Yeah.
If you told me, if I'm playing into a poker tournament and you told me there were 200 people left and first place is 5 million, but fifth place was $1 million, and I could just quit the tournament right now and take it.
Yeah.
Of course. You take fifth place when there's 200 people left.
Of course.
Right, unless you have unlimited funds and are just playing for the trophy. But if it's just about making the money, give me fifth place money and I'll call it a day. And all those idiots just turned it down because they've just met some strangers.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can watch that. It's infuriating.
I know it.
I love it.
Oh, my God. Just idiots.
I know.
All right, let's do some sports.
Yeah,
My God.
Please.
I'm going to have a stroke.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores. Buy 2, get 1 free when it comes to Monster. 16 ounces. And look, I got to stop at Holiday today, too. I'll get some monsters. Get buy two, get one free. But also, how about the the Mega Millions is 1.15 billion, the fifth biggest in Mega Millions history.
Seems like this has been happening a lot more lately.
Well, they doubled the price.
So,
they did, yeah.
So, go get some gas at Holiday, go get some Monster at Holiday, and, get some lottery tickets.
I won $2 the other day.
That's pretty nice.
Thank you.
I'm looking at megamillions.com.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of interesting. I thought this was interesting. At least this surprised me a little bit. So, like I said, this would be the fifth biggest, just in Mega Millions history, right? Take the Powerball out of it for a second. Now that this is one of them, out of the other seven, the top 7 Mega Millions tickets, the winning tickets of all time. Top 7 drawings. How many winners that won the grand prize out of those 7 drawings? Right, because you can obviously have multiple winners per drawing, right?
7 drawings.
So 7 drawings, the 7 biggest drawings in Mega Millions history. How many winners in the other 7 if you don't count this one?
Sure. I'm going to guess 12.
I'd say 11.
I was going to say 10.
Yeah, I would guess at least 3 or 4 of them have 2 to 3 winners, right? You're splitting it with 1 or 2 people? It's 7.
Jeez.
The top 7 have all been single winners in Mega Millions history.
No
Florida, South Carolina, Illinois, doesn't matter. So anyway, like 7 different states and 7 individual winners. How about this one? Just 1 winner from Minnesota.
Well,
let's make that happen, Captain.
I'd like it. Sure, yeah.
Imagine though, where they say there was a winning ticket at Holiday in Cottage Grove, and I'd be like, I got it there, and then it's not you. But just think of that hope for a few. Now, once the drawing's done, I'm checking to see if I won. But
it was weird because I haven't bought lottery tickets in years probably. But I bought some on Monday, and just because of the Christmas thing, I didn't hear any of the numbers. I didn't hear any so I actually looked at it, Google it yesterday because it wasn't in the news. But now it'll be in the news until somebody obviously wins, and then we'll
odds of winning the jackpot
back up.
1 in about 302 million.
That's not bad.
Let's do it. Thursday night football last night. Yuck! Seattle 6-3. Over the Bears, and Caleb Williams finally threw an interception. His first interception during this 10-game losing streak, which is a stat that I was just completely fascinated by, how you can lose 9 in a row without an interception.
Right.
Well, he finally threw one last night. Both quarterbacks did almost nothing. Caleb Williams, 16 of 28 for 122 yards and a pick, and Geno Smith, 160 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Gross. What a waste of time. A game that doesn't really matter. I mean, the Seahawks are fighting for stuff, but the Bears have nothing to play for, and it's a 6-3 stinker. Yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. The amount of money that they pay for Thursday night football, there's got to be some way. There was one flexed into it earlier this year, but man, you just got to wonder. Now, I watched it, so I can't rip on it too much, but awful game.
You know how dumb I am is I spent about 40 minutes trying to find the games on Christmas Day because I forgot they were on Netflix. I couldn't believe it.
Well, it took
me so long.
Sounds like you were in the minority because 65 million people or so at one point checked into Christmas Day on Netflix. Average around 24.3 for Ravens Texans. Average around 24.1 million for Chiefs Steelers. But it peaked during Beyonce, where it hit about 27 million. LeBron James came out and said, hey, look, Christmas is the NBA's day. It's our day. Basically, the NFL should leave it alone. It's not your day anymore.
No.
NBA did a little over 5 million on average per game.
It's just not close. NFL is king.
Yeah.
So we saw that a week or so ago that the couple of random Saturday games crushed the college football playoff. Now we're seeing the NBA get absolutely smoked by the NFL. I do hate that the NFL ruins other people's days. Just conceptually, it's like, can't you let a couple of other sports have a moment? But the NFL just says, it's mine. I take it.
Yep.
I take what I want.
Yep. And
So
we
they
got
keep doing it.
three this Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, Chargers at Patriots. It's not great. Broncos at Bengals. That's a little bit better. And then Cardinals at Rams. All day Saturday. Starts at noon, goes till about 10:30.
And Chargers have to win or an Indy loss plus Miami loss, and they're in. But if they win this Saturday, they're in. There's a lot of scenarios up in the air right now.
It's fun.
Vikings host the Packers Sunday at 3:25 right here in the Fan. The Vikings have won 8 consecutive football games, but are slight dogs on DraftKings to the Green Bay Packers. Harrison Smith was a full participant in practice. So was Ivan Pace. Fabian Moreau did not practice because of that hip problem. Mm-hmm. On the other side, Jair Alexander downgraded to limited. I heard Dave Sinekin filling in yesterday and saying he doesn't believe Jair is going to play the rest of the year, let alone Sunday. So let's hope that's the case.
Yeah.
Christian Watson did not practice because of his knee problem, and Quay Walker, the linebacker, did not practice because of an ankle. So they're again, advantage Vikings. They are unbelievably healthy for this point in the season. Not to beat the dead horse, but I think everybody in the room understands if Detroit was completely healthy, they're better than us.
Correct.
And they might be the best team in football if they're completely healthy. They are riddled with injuries. The Vikings are almost completely clean except for Darisaw.
I think a benefit to the Vikings is that this is a very important game for them. And so otherwise, this would be, think if this was against Chicago, absolute perfect look-ahead spot for them to screw it up and not take it serious. But if the Vikings lose this Sunday and then lose next Sunday, Green Bay obviously would have won this Sunday. And then if they win next Sunday, they're the 5, we're the 6. So that is, there is a lot of importance in this, regardless if we get the 1 seed. You have to win this game.
How about to what you're saying is if Detroit and the Vikings both win, right, then next week is gigantic because then that game is for the 1 seed, right? Mm-hmm. If the Lions win and the Vikings lose, that game is worthless to Detroit.
Worthless.
So that would be epic, right? Like that. I mean, it's a huge thing for the Vikings to find a way to win this. Otherwise, we're locked in at either the 5 or the 6.
Right.
It's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, are you going to be at the game?
No.
You're not?
Nope. And I'm kind of glad. I do want to watch this one at home because I'm going to be stressed.
Right. I do. I don't do many home games. You know, Abby does all the home games. I do all the away games. But I'm doing the home game this weekend. I can't wait to see what it's like in there. It's going to be great. And here's something even crazier. First time ever, Abigail's going to a Vikings game.
Oh,
She's never been to a Vikings game.
How is that possible?
She just never cared.
Oh, wow.
You know, never cared. She got a friend that does care, so I got her tickets.
And obviously, Harper and the crew do just an amazing job there. Yeah. The thing that's going to be great about that being a 3:05 start, it starts as a day game, ends as a night game, so they'll be able to do stuff with the lights and all that. Halftime will be should be dark, so it's going to be awesome. It's
going to be fun.
I mean, part of me does wish I was going to be there, but I do want to watch the early games, and I'm going to be so freaking nervous.
Yeah, I know.
It's a huge game. None of us thought this.
Nope.
These games weren't going to matter, we thought.
Nope.
No. What really matters is next. More scores and stats around the world of sports. Kelsey Cook and Chad Daniels a little over an hour from now. Marnie Gellner a little over an hour from now. Initials at 8:15 with $81,000 potentially up for grabs with the St. Paul Federal Credit Union Initials Jackpot.
It's Arrival by Chanders.
Man.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Patrick Morgan Show. We're live, by the way. We are here. It's us.
And it is a Purple Friday on the Fan. And we want to send you to Sunday's game. Head over to our contest page, click on our Vikings versus Packers contest, and enter keyword SKOL for your chance to win a pair of tickets. That's keyword SKOL. KFAN.com keyword contest to enter.
The fact that it's a Purple Friday. I wonder why.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I just checked out the current Vegas odds. This game is all over the place. We've got, so at BetMGM, Vikings are 1.5 favorites.
Wow. That makes sense.
FanDuel, Vikings are catching 1.5.
Jeez.
That makes no sense.
It's a huge swing.
It's Pick'em at Bally, DraftKings, Vikings are catching 1 point. Just a weird, I don't get it.
Yeah, and again, it's trivial, right? It's a point or a point and a half each way. It's
Which
just
is not
it's
trivial.
just-
That ends up mattering a lot.
Right, but I'm just saying, it's not like one team should be favored by 14, but they're slight dogs. Either way, totally understand that the Vikings shouldn't be 8-point favorites. They should be like a couple of point favorites, I think. But the algorithm, the math, all the analytics say that it's a lot closer or in favor of Green Bay, which is very strange. But look, that's why they play the games.
Yes.
They're going to play it on Sunday, and the spread will be irrelevant. But if you're gambling, it's a weird line.
Especially, that
Multiple
big of a
pick'ems.
difference at the multiple pickups.
Bally's and Bet Rivers.
Those Bet Rivers. Weezer start their own sports book?
Yeah.
Catalyst and CatalystSupplyCo.com bring you wild news if you want to boost your build. For you contractors out there, go to Catalyst.
That's what really matters, right?
The Wild are at Dallas tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on The Fan. Both Dallas and the Wild won on Monday, but of course the mandatory Christmas break for both teams. So they're back at it tonight, 7 o'clock, right here on The Fan.
Yeah, the big tough part of this is they have to get on a plane today. They could not do any team activities yesterday. So normally you would fly in the night before game, get a nice, night's sleep, and then get up and go play. And now they got to, Hawk, you've traveled with the Vikings all year. Can you imagine leaving the morning of a game, flying 2.5 hours to Dallas, and then playing that night?
I can't. I know.
So,
I know. Yeah.
Good luck to the Wild, but that is a significant disadvantage, in my opinion.
But what really matters is this.
Where is it? I had an audio of what really matters, and I think I deleted it. Oh, crap. Anyway. Okay, well, now I'll go back to my notes, ladies and gentlemen. Have you guys ever watched the show 8 Crazy Nights in full length? The cartoon movie?
Nope, you and Star and I walked out of it after 20 minutes because it was, and we didn't pay for it either. It was a free movie at Block E back in the day.
Yeah.
And 20 minutes in, we said, let's not waste an hour and a half of our lives, and we left. And I absolutely would never go back to that film.
So, because it's from her youth, it's one of Abigail's favorite movies that she likes to watch.
My gosh.
But she realizes it's terrible, right? But we watched it together. I think Christmas Eve during the day. It's still just as bad. There's never been a more ruthless, worthless main character in a movie ever than the character Adam Sandler plays in this cartoon, right? He's terrible to everybody. It's so terrible that by the end of the movie, when he starts to come around, you still hate him. You can't forgive him for the stuff he did earlier, right? He's a terrible person. There were literally 2 laughs in the entire film. One of them was, it's such an Adam Sandler moment. There's the mayor is played by Kevin Nealon, a cartoon character, and everybody laughs at everything he says because they want to impress the mayor. And he says a joke that's not funny, and everybody over laughs so hard that one guy takes off his shirt and starts pounding his head against the table, and the deer outside are S-ing themselves. And that's funny. It was a very funny way of doing that. And then there's another scene where the lady has 3 boobs. And
like Total Recall.
Like Total
Baby,
Recall.
you make me wish I had 3 hands.
Yeah, exactly. and they make good use of that joke. The rest of the movie is just horrible.
It's horrible.
And
I love Sandler.
I do too.
But he definitely has a handful of movies that are to the point where you can't believe they ever got the green light, that they ever were made.
Right. The main
but
first
I still love that
song.
dude.
The first song is called "I Hate Me," and that's the whole story of the film. So I give it 2 thumbs way down.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering about a review for a movie that's probably 25 years old.
It's got to be close. I mean, it's probably man.
Yeah, it was
04
we saw it
or
at the Block
5?
E movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that was probably the first
Long
year or
time
2 we were in this building,
Yeah,
right?
for
So
sure.
my guess is in that 04, 05 range.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8 Crazy Nights.
When did you move here?
03 or 4.
Okay.
One of the 2.
3, I believe. Yeah. I believe that's right. Yeah. The Block E movie theater.
It was kind of cool.
It was awesome. I can't believe it didn't work.
Yeah, a lot of things at Block E should have worked, but didn't. Yeah. That's why they should have made it a casino.
I know.
I carried that bill.
I'm sure you did.
How heavy was he?
You gave your best shot, brother.
The Wolves are at Houston tonight at 7 o'clock. The Wolves are 15-14 after a Christmas Day win over Dallas. They almost blew a 28-point lead, but they didn't. They won.
Yeah.
In that game, Luka got hurt, and we thought it was bad because it was a crutch situation, I believe, after the game. Well, it looks like he is going to be out at least a month, which is going to eliminate him from all of the awards because he's going to miss more than 15 games for the season, which means he cannot be MVP. And he has been on the All-NBA first team the last 5 seasons. He will now not be eligible for that. Sucks to be Luka.
Yeah.
But what really matters is this.
Have you ever seen the movies, the John Wick movies?
No.
First one.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're very violent. I like them. John Wick's nickname is Baba Yaga. 2 words. Babayaga. And that doesn't even make any sense because Baba Yaga is an old woman living in the woods that kidnaps and kills children.
Ooh. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Corey has his hand up.
Woodhawk.
That's for you,
Nobody's
Saucy.
asked that today.
That's for you, buddy. Any answers?
The old lady in the woods that kidnaps and kills kids. Woodhawk?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she is dedicated to her craft.
Yeah, she's an outdoorsman.
Yeah.
She likes kids for a little while.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Does she eat them? Because that's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
That's where.
Yeah, I got to draw the line.
Yeah.
I don't know why this next sports story. I don't know why I'm bummed that Parrish is not here because I love doing
miss him.
Well,
these
he's
kind
a
of
great guy.
Yeah, but I love doing these stories when Mark's here because he just can't believe it, and I just like bringing this up. Do you guys see that? Jimmy Butler a couple days ago reportedly, according to Shams, wants out of Miami. He would prefer to be traded out of Miami.
God, he's
Well, Pat Riley of the Heat said the Heat are not interested in trading Jimmy Butler. He said, quote, "We will make it clear we are not trading Jimmy Butler." This is the part that I wish Mark Parrish was here for. Jimmy Butler is making $49 million this season. Next season, he has a $52 million player option, which he has already said he will decline.
Idiot.
To be a free agent this summer. He'll make way more, right? He'll figure it out.
I suppose.
He'll get more guaranteed money, that's all. But I'm just saying, can you imagine if you're Mark hearing that an NBA player is turning down $52 million next year?
Now,
He'll probably make close to that.
I don't watch nearly the same amount of NBA as I used to. Is he even good enough to get a bigger contract than that?
No. I mean, and he's 35 years old.
So he's looking for longevity then.
Right. My guess is he might take less than 52, but just get a, 4-year, $160 million. I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers, but my guess is he might take a smaller per year bit, but the longer term guaranteed money. He's making $49 million this year, and he's scoring 18.5 points a game, which is solid, but that's not $50 million worth.
What a different life to make a decision where you're saying, okay, I'll take this, and for the rest of my life, I'm going to get this amount of money. I know it's guaranteed. I'm always going to get this money. I mean, I can't even imagine.
But military contract, you're guaranteed to get your basic pay for the longevity of your contract.
Sure,
See,
right?
But this is what he's doing though.
Same amount of money.
Yes, yeah, right. Yeah,
The Jimmy Butler situation is a good transition to Sam Darnold, because for the people that are going, well, he should be happy to get a franchise tag. Well, no, he shouldn't be, right? Because just like Jimmy, you would say $52 million. How can you be upset with that? Well, but he has the opportunity to get more money guaranteed. And that's the Sam situation too. Is Sam should be pretty bitter if he gets the tag. He might have to deal with the tag, right? And it might be a part of a trade situation. Who knows? All I'm saying is this is, at 27 years old, Sam's chance to get one giant life-changing contract. It might be his last chance. Who knows? He doesn't want to get tagged.
But I think it would be foolish of the Vikings not to do it. You can
tag him and trade him.
Yeah, I think because with the lack of draft picks we have, we need to do something, and we ended up with lightning in a bottle, and who knows if it works. And I'm on board with extending him but not for a ton of money because we have, 30-some free agents next year.
But then what's a ton? What would you give him a year? Because you got to give him market rate. You don't have to give him number one rate. You don't have to give him $60 million a year, but I bet it's 40.
Well, and it would be stupid of him to say, I will stay with the Vikings if you give me 3 years, guaranteed $25 million a pop.
Yeah, and he'll never agree to that.
It would be stupid, but also if he truly, there's a chance if he goes somewhere else, he's not going to have even near this type of success. I think right now he's the right guy for this team. So I'm on board if they do that, but also McCarthy waiting in the wings at a very low rate when we have to re-sign so many people. I think at a minimum, you got to tag him and then try and trade him. He might be pissed. It would be foolish.
And I'm sorry, but the Vikings took a chance on him.
And resurrected his career.
Resurrected his career, gave him all these opportunities. So I think the Vikings have every right to try to cash in on that as well.
100%.
Yeah, obviously, he earned it. He is a great player and wish him the best, but the Vikings need to get something out of this too because
Correct.
This is one of the best decisions they've made in years.
And if it wasn't for the Vikings, he would not be getting
Correct.
this massive next contract that he will get wherever he goes.
It goes both ways, right? Because without his season, KOC doesn't look like the coach of the year either. So both are pretty excited that it worked out for the other, right?
Correct.
And both are going to get financially compensated for it. All right, more of the Power Trip Morning Show after this. Marnie in 40 minutes, Kelsey Cook and Chad Daniels in about an hour. Initials at 8:15. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Dakota Shakedown and the song Blast. Local music on the Power Trip as we return 6:44.
And guess what's going to happen, Chris? In 12 hours and about 17 minutes.
I'm finally going to have a number 2.
That too.
Backed up.
But you can come hang out with the Power Trip's Max Fuller tonight at Casper's in Egan for a Wolves watch party. Get there at 7 o'clock to watch your Timberwolves in action and to sign up for your chance to qualify for first-round playoff tickets next year. Get the full details now. KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Go have fun. Do that. That'll be
Hang
fun.
with Max.
Absolutely. Hang with Max. Happy belated to old Maxo. What was I going to ask? Something about... are we off Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Woo!
This is my due date, by the way.
This was?
Yeah, today was my due date.
I didn't even know you were due.
That was way late.
Due. Yeah, you didn't want to come out there. Story of my life.
So even in the womb, you couldn't wait for January 6th.
No, I could not wait. That was the perfect day. It was a Friday.
Yep.
So just for the record, I just wanted to make sure I understood what you just said. January 6th was the perfect day.
It was a great day.
J6 was a great day.
It was a great day to get out.
Good for you.
Did you try and climb back in?
Peacefully. He peacefully climbed back in.
Yep. Here he comes.
Yep. Wanted a tour of the womb.
Yeah. You know
a
what?
nice tour of the ripened cervix.
I do remember, actually, your first words were, I've had enough of that.
Never again.
Ain't going back again.
Is that the only option? No, right this way, Zachary. Anyway.
Man.
Never
All
going
right.
back again. Anyway, here we go.
All right, let's do more of what really matters. Former Vikings quarterback Teddy Bridgewater expected to unretire and sign with the Lions. This is after he retired and then went to coach his high school football team in Florida, and they just, went on to win the state championship.
Yeah.
And now he's going to sign with the Lions. The Lions have Hendon Hooker and, of course, Jared Goff. So, whatever. I mean, good for Teddy. Everybody likes Teddy.
Hey, Teddy.
Dude won a state title as a coach in year 1. Good start.
Sure you didn't want to come back here? I mean, we got a whole quarterback room of, we got 5 now, I think?
Yeah, a lot.
Maybe he could come back and coach White Bear Lake football.
Yeah.
Bring them to a state title.
Or the hockey team and get them out of the first round.
Was it this past weekend that I saw Jared Hall? Is he in Seattle?
Seattle, yep.
Yeah. Saw him throwing the ball this weekend. I haven't talked to you guys since that trip.
How was it?
It's good. It's good. But man, there is I've never. You know what? This is good. Can I do what really matters?
Yeah, of course.
I forgot that I haven't talked to you guys since then. Seattle, been there?
Yes.
Yeah. You been there?
No.
Psycho?
No.
Well, you'll lose Charge Challenge. We'll send you there. I've never seen more dichotomy in the haves and have-nots.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Good point. And I was there pre-COVID.
Okay, yeah. I told you guys last time we were there, and I believe it was a preseason, that the drugs had frozen a lot of people. They were literally frozen in place. Now it's Christmas.
Like in
time.
Saved by the Bell.
Right, exactly. Like Zach had put them on timeout. Yeah, it's exactly right. This time it's Christmas time, and they have it decorated up beautifully. And it's, there's people out and they're shopping and there's families and they're having a good time and they're walking down to, Pike's Place, down to the market and stuff like that. And so you got a family dressed to the nines, beautiful, Christmassy, standing beside people who are barely breathing.
That was actually the manger you were looking at.
It looked like it could have been.
A zombie nativity.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, zombies is the right way to say it. And this group of families aren't even paying attention to what is going on beside them, which I don't blame them. I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm just saying I can't believe that they're able to do that. I can't believe that it is so commonplace that there are zombies amongst us who are barely, you can't tell if they're alive. They're frozen. And they're standing beside each other as if they don't see each other. Like they're on different timelines. Mm-hmm. It's the craziest thing.
It's like when the Waynes left the play and went down the alleyway before they got shot and killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's they got nice jackets on and the limo's probably ready to pick them up, and little Bruce is excited that the play's finally over because he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
That's got to be
zombies killed the Waynes.
New drugs, because when I was there,
or whatever it is, that
and I don't think that was a thing, or at least as big, because when I was there, those people would be just yelling, and they would yell if you walked by, just yelling.
Yeah.
It was the most homeless people I had ever seen in a city. The city's awesome besides that.
Oh, yeah, right.
But then tons of encampments along the freeway and all that. And that was pre-COVID. So I couldn't imagine now.
Here's the thing. It's amazing you bring that up, because I was talking to Bursich about this exact thing before the game on Sunday. And he said he's been to Seattle a bunch of times. And he said there used to be way more homeless people.
Really? Okay.
He said there used to be way more pretend homeless people. The people that are there now are seriously homeless.
What do you mean pretend?
Just trying to get
college
handouts.
kids living, just living on the street. College kids making the choice to be homeless in a lot of cases. That was his observation. Now the people who are left, ain't no pretend homeless people going to be in that situation. These people are at the very nadir of their existence. These people are legitimately hopeless. These people are legitimately addicted to drugs they cannot get off of. This is not a choice for them, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
And I don't know if he's right or wrong about that. I just thought it was an interesting observation that you had a lot of people who, obviously circumstances have put them in the places where they're not doing great. I'm not saying they are doing great, but I'm saying maybe they had a place they could go, or they could they could take advantage of help. These people that I saw last Sunday are beyond hope.
That's depressing.
For sure.
It really is depressing. I got more depressing stuff.
Oh, man.
No.
Great.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, man.
Neat city, though.
For real. I mean, it really is. I'm standing there at the stadium. Great stadium. Still the loudest damn place I've ever seen. I can't believe how loud it is.
You can see the design, too, is
overhang,
to keep it.
for sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't believe how loud it is.
Does it say on there the decibel meter?
Yes, there's a decibel
What's
thing
the highest number you saw?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I don't have a good look at it from where I'm at.
I always look. The loudest I've seen at a game I've been to here was Minneapolis Miracle. Not when that happened, because they didn't have it up on offense, but like 123.
Yeah.
When the Saints were on the field.
I believe the highest one ever recorded there's 131.
Jesus.
And it was the
Beastquake.
Beastquake.
Oh,
that's exactly
Marshawn
right.
Lynch.
Because that
exactly
play
right.
took forever.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It caused a tremor, a 2.0 tremor. It literally was monitored as a true 2.0 tremor. I read about it when I was there.
It was the largest human-caused tremor since Saw slept on his porch.
So then, do you have to change what you do when it's loud? Do you are you adjusting?
Just my headset so I can hear Ben better.
But you're not dealing with anything with Paul and Pete.
No,
theirs.
Jared does a really good job of making sure that that's negated a little bit. But Ben has a hard time. Ben was being rained on off and on the entire time, And it's so loud in there, you can't believe it. You know, there's a lot of stadiums where we go to where it's really loud, and it's because the speakers are pointed in the wrong direction or they're just being idiots. This is just loud because the people are freaking unbelievably loud. It's really something, man. But you walk over and you look out from the far side of the stadium, the visitor side of the stadium, I guess where we broadcast from, and you're looking out on the sound, right there, the Puget Sound. And over here is the Space Needle in the city. Over here's the Puget Sound. Here's the stadium. And right beside you on the other side is the baseball stadium. It's really cool, man. Yeah. It's really, really something. And to see those giant tankers with all those cargo, whatever you call them, holders.
It's all our Amazon packages.
Yeah, right. Probably. I can't believe they put that many things on a boat and it makes it across the ocean. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
There's more stuff above the water than there's below the water, you know? It's really neat.
Cool town, though.
Cool town.
And if you like craft beer...
Oh, really?
There is a hell of a scene there. We did a tour.
Okay.
Where they just take you to a handful of different ones. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool spot. Highly recommend.
College football playoff bracket is down to the final 8. It'll be New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. On New Year's Eve, number 6 Penn State takes on number 3 Boise State at 6:30. And then the full slate of games the following day, next Wednesday on Jan 1. Noon, Texas and Arizona State. That's the 5-4. Then at 4 o'clock, the 1-8 is Oregon and Ohio State. And then at 7:45, number 2 Georgia versus number 7 Notre Dame.
Where is the Oregon-Ohio State game? That's one game right there that if that was a home game for either of those teams, that would be a giant sway.
Yeah.
You know, Oregon's the better team, but at home they're a much better team. And Ohio State would have a much better chance playing at the Horseshoe. So the fact that that's a neutral stadium situation, that helps. I think that helps Ohio State.
And that's the talk is how this needs to be changed, the seating.
Yeah.
Because they shouldn't, Oregon is the one, shouldn't get paired up with Ohio State.
That's the Rose Bowl.
That's at the Rose Bowl. Yeah.
Oregon, Ohio State is at Rose Bowl. Georgia and Notre Dame is at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Stinkhole.
Texas, Arizona State is at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia.
Even bigger stinkhole.
What's your least favorite?
For what I do, it's probably SoFi, just because it's so hard to get around. But New Orleans is an absolute S-hole. And the booth we broadcast from in Atlanta is terrible.
Which is crazy because that stadium's relatively new.
I know, but it's just they didn't care at all about the visiting radio people.
And some other things. My buddy was director of operations for US Bank Stadium, and he when he was getting ready to start that, he traveled to a bunch of different places and getting ready for the Super Bowl. Actually, he went. And so then he said that for a new stadium sucks.
It's terrible.
That they tried to copy us and failed.
Yeah. That is a bad stadium.
Yeah.
That's not a good place.
The New Year's Eve one, the Penn State-Boise State game is at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona.
That's a good stadium. I like that place. That's the place they roll the field out and onto the field and back.
Raiders do that too.
Yeah, right.
By the way, if you're, I didn't know this, so I was just looking ahead too. The semifinals on Jan 9 and Jan 10, one of them is at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami.
Cool place.
The other one is at AT&T Stadium in Texas.
Yeah.
And then the finals back at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta on January 20th.
Man, I tell you, the one game I'm most that I have no grip on is Penn State and Boise. That'll be a fun game. I have no idea who's going to win that game.
Right. Penn State is a huge favorite.
Are they really?
11-point favorite.
So they're saying it shouldn't be a problem for them to stop that running back. We'll see.
We will see.
We'll see.
Same thing. Arizona State's got an unbelievable running back as well, but Texas is a 13.5-point favorite against number 4 Arizona State.
I'm done betting against Texas. They're that team. Holy balls.
Well, Clemson even scored first. You were up 19.
I know.
And they still blew it and lost by 14.
I know.
All right, anyway, what really matters is this.
Speaking of college football, when I was growing up, one of the places that you hoped you might get recruited by, and obviously none of us did, to go play football was Cincinnati, to play for the Bearcats. I never knew what a Bearcat was, though. A Bearcat, also known as a benturong, is an animal that smells like popcorn and has ankles that can rotate 180 degrees.
Well, so do I know.
Yeah, I guess you do too. So
right.
stop bragging, Bearcat.
I've admitted on this show that I didn't think bed bugs were real until I was about 18. I just thought it was something that your parents threatened you with, right?
Yeah,
Don't let the bed bugs bite. I'm like,
Right.
aren't bed bugs? Nice try.
Right.
You liar. I learned 19 seconds ago that bear cats were a real thing.
Look them up.
Did you guys know they were real? I just thought it was kind of like a, like wildcats are just, it's like a generic sounding group for just wildcats. Right?
Yeah.
You're like, whatever, that's a thing. It's probably a bunch of different large cats. I don't know. I just thought bear cat was like a cool sounding, generic, mythical creature. Never thought about it.
Our battalion that I was in is the Bearcats. Through the 136 is the Bearcats. Rex Montes, King of the Hill. So I never thought about if they're real or not.
Yeah.
So it's good to know.
Yeah, they are.
Because we know 2 of the 136 is real.
Damn right.
Are they in the Cincinnati area?
No. They're not. They
Are they mean?
Native to South and Southeast Asia.
yeah.
So
right.
nowhere near Cincinnati, Ohio.
Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
Should have called them the Cincinnati Pandas. Why not? Same thing.
Could have called them the Cincinnati trailer trash.
Well, at least they got some of those.
Or the
This thing looks
Skyline
mangy.
Chili.
I'm telling you.
Mangy as hell.
It looks like it's been wandering the streets of Seattle.
Oh, speaking of that, by the way, did you see the NBA did announce they are expanding to Seattle, and it's not going to be the Supersonics. It's going to be the Seattle Trank Zombies.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Zach, your hands
So they
up.
play defense like the Wolves.
Yeah.
I have the history.
Let's go.
Go on.
Cheerleader Norman Pat Lyon created a chant. There may be they're playing the University of Kentucky Wildcats, and they say she created. They may be Wildcats, but we have a bear cat on the side. Of course, referencing star player Leonard K. Teddy Bear.
Oh, yeah.
And so they had a bear cat, and then the name apparently stuck. A cartoonist made a cartoon in the school's newspaper that depicted a wildcat being chased by Cincinnati bear cats. And now
That story makes
rest
you
is
sound stupid.
history.
And it says they can be aggressive and violent when they feel threatened or are defending their young or territory. They have strong jaws and sharp claws that they use in fights with other animals. They have cat-like screams, hisses, low grunts, and howls to signal fear, aggression, or displeasure. They purr when they're mating or receptive.
Me too.
And then they snort and chuckle when they're content or experience pleasure.
I'm
Look,
really close on that.
What a weird animal.
Yesterday on this very show, we mentioned that, I don't think most days of my life I learn anything, but we learned about 3 or 4 things yesterday, including the ripening of the cervix.
Yay.
Today I learned that a bear cat is real.
Yep.
So if I don't learn anything between now and when I go to bed, mission accomplished. There are bear cats. And not anywhere near Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, right.
Or Camp Ripley.
You learned something.
Wouldn't it be ironic if you got eaten by a bear cat tonight?
It would. Yeah, it would be par for the course.
Yeah, probably would.
Especially in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Like, where the hell did you come from?
You're probably safe, Creasel.
As long as I got my legs on.
Right.
Is it 0, though? Is it 0% chance?
Not 0, but if I'm a bear cat, I'm probably looking for a little more meat. On that.
Oh.
No offense, but
Has he seen him pantsless?
They're picky eaters,
Yeah.
bear cats.
There's a lot of nutsack there, man.
that's true. That's your defense system.
Hey, you don't want to do this?
The news is next. Marnie in like 20, Kelsey Cook and Chad Daniels in like 30 minutes. This is the Power Trip. Morning show on the Fan.
Burnout Effigy by the Further Adjustments. Local music on the Power Trip.